everyone, welcome back to my garden and my channel. I'm using this as motivation for myself and also a good way to record what I'm getting up to around my garden. This is a Hertfordshire garden in the UK. If you'd like to follow along, you're welcome to do so. You'll see I've got a little friend here. I've just taken quite a big order in, so I'm really excited. I'm going to go through the bits with you today and we'll see what we've got. So January is a great time to buy bare root items such as strawberries, raspberries, rose bushes, shrubs, trees. I have a new tree, something that I've been wanting for a long time because it has many benefits for the pollinators and birds and all sorts. I've got a crab apple. Here she is. Some other bits in the bottom of the box as well. So what I'm going to do is go through everything that's arrived, just check it all off, check we're all okay. I don't know how long they've been in transit for, and then start planning out where this one can live. So like I say, January is a really good time to be buying bare root. Oh, all that means is that they come with no soil on the roots, so they are essentially naked. So here is the crab apple. See, she's got some fruits already. That is a Malus wedding bouquet variety. I love the colour of her bark. It's really pretty, reddy colour. I think that'd be lovely in the garden. I have been wanting a crab apple for quite a while. I like the idea of the early blossom and then you get the fruits as well. Right, I've just unpacked that order. Excuse the beer trap in the background. So I've got a nice geum there. That is koi tangerine. It's got loads of shoots on it, which is good, so that can go straight outside somewhere. They're hardy. I got some lovely primroses, so I can put them straight out as well. I'm gonna have to come back as far as I can now. I've got, this is my tulip bulb collection. And then I've got irises up the back. All them at the back are daffodils. And I've got some hyacinths and some crocus. And then this big pile here are my alliums. As you can tell, I absolutely love them. I've never had them before, so I thought, I saw these on sale and I thought I'd get a few different varieties, see what they come up like. And I've just realised what I thought was a bare root tree actually isn't. She's got her own pot. I've got a few places in mind for her, so the fact that she's in a pot affords me a bit more time, so I will think carefully about that before I rush into anything. So let's find some jobs to get done. It's a really nice day, the sun's out. For anyone interested in where I got all of this from, it was Gardening Express. They've got a website. Let's go and find some jobs to do, because I really don't feel like planting all of that at the moment. It's a new day now. I've been looking at my seed box recently and I didn't realise how many I have to sow in February and March. So I want to try and carry on sowing what I can in January just to take off the burden from later on when things are about to start getting really busy. So today I am sowing two types of aquilegia. I've got Blue Star and Nora Barlow. These are from Chiltern Seeds. I thought they'd actually go really nicely together as well. One's a blue and one's a pink. I've got two types of anti-rhinum. I've got a tall variety, which is 90 centimetres. That's called the Rose. And I've got a medium one, which is 60 centimetres, which is Lucky Lips, which is a really nice pink and white one. Both of these probably could go middle-ish of your border, although maybe slightly further back for the taller one, the 90 centimetre one. I'm also doing cobaea seeds, which I've not done before, a cup and saucer plant. They are currently soaking, so I'll show you them later. I am sowing more larkspur since was it December or January? I sowed some. The giant ones, I've now got about 6 or 7, I think, seedlings and a ropey one. So I want to sow some more of them, mainly because they're obviously going to all flower and you're going to have all that beauty in your border, and then they're all going to die at roughly the same time. So by sowing them again a few weeks later, I can ensure that we have that beauty for as long as possible. So hopefully as some are dying off, the next ones are ready to flower. I'm also sowing the dwarf ones again because not a single one germinated. I've got none of them. Along the same lines as them, I'm also doing 4 different types of delphinium. I've got Crown Pacific mix, Blue Jay, which was a really fake looking blue, really stunning. We love blue flowers in the garden because they're so rare anyway. Magic Fountain, Lavender White Bee. So Lavender White Bee means the outside is lavender or lilac, and White Bee means the colour of the centre of the flower. And Pacific Giants, Summer Skies, they're all Premier Seeds direct. So I'm going to do some of them. So the difference between delphiniums and larkspur is that the larkspur, dwarf and giants, are the annual version of a delphinium. So if you go to the garden centre and buy a delphinium, something called a delphinium, it will look like this, but it will actually come back year after year. These are the annual version of a delphinium. That's the only difference between them. So these ones will do their whole life cycle this year and then die off. These ones won't. They will do their life cycle and then keep coming back year after year. That's if the slugs don't get them. I haven't actually been brave enough to put mine in the borders yet, my delphs, because of the slugs, but I've been looking at ways of protecting them in the border so that hopefully as a long-term solution they can be in the border and be protected. So that's everything I want to sow. I'm going to film it and speed it up for you, and then you can watch the whizzy back one with a cup of tea. But don't feel that you have to start anything in January just because it says January on the packet. If you don't have windowsills free or a cold frame or greenhouse, don't start anything now because things are just going to get leggy and struggle for light, because light is an issue this time of year. We're now in a part of the garden I haven't shown you before. This is our kitchen window. This is my new cold frame that my partner and my children got me. So it's really sweet. I wanted to show you a few bits that we picked up at the garden centre a couple of days ago. So this time of year is great if you're looking for perennials. If you don't mind things looking a bit ropey, garden centres will usually start selling bits off ready to make space for their new spring stock. So we picked up some bits the other day. I got this massive Salvia caradonna. It was $13.99 in the sale. I've given her a tidy up, but as you can see there's loads of new growth already, and what I'm going to do is divide that. I can probably get 2 good sized, maybe more plants out of that one. I've got this gorgeous echinacea that was £2.63 instead of $14.99. She has got some new growth. We're not worried about how they look at the moment. What we're looking for is healthy roots. As long as they've got good roots, then you'll be okay. I've got this gorgeous Rebecca. Look at that. It looks like a dahlia. This was really tall. It was probably a good 2.5 foot tall. Summerina Sugar Shake. I can't see any new growth at the moment. This has been reduced a couple of times. We got it for £5. Before that it was £9.99, and originally it was £20 for one plant. And again, that's a huge pot. You can see the size of it compared to my face. Give that a year or two and you can probably lift it and divide it. You've got more plants for a £5. I've got a load of heucheras. They were all looking a bit ropey, but with a tiny clean up, you can see the new growth already. So £4.55 I got cherry cola, beautiful. I got marmalade, slightly peachier. That one was £2.10. I love the colour of the stems, they look like sweets. The green and the pink, or rhubarb. I got peach flambe, £3. Not doing much at the moment, but I'm holding out some hope. Got some mould on it. I think what I need to do is repot that one and have a look, see what's going on with the roots. Might have just got a bit too wet. Lime marmalade, look at her. Loads of new growth already, now I've tidied her up. That was £4.55. Let's see what it was originally. £12.99 originally. Oh, we've got a helicopter. I also got coral bells, £4.55. Loads of new growth. I really like them colours, very autumnal. This was the only one I bought that was full price. I was drawn to it as soon as I saw it. Electric plum. Stunning, it doesn't look real. And I love the back of the leaves as well. So pretty. I also got a couple of hebes. You can see them here. I haven't cut them back and tidied them up yet because I need to see how to do it and I don't want to damage them in any way. They were £3.25 each, so that's incredible. There is a lot of new growth on them actually. Let's see if I can show you. For example here, this does have lots of tiny leaves all around. It's just that the bottom's a bit bare. So I'm going to look up what to do with hebes. I've got two, the same variety there. Lovely. So I was after evergreen perennials, hardy, because your heucheras and your hebes, for example, are great when there's not a lot else going on in the garden, when everything else has died back. Hellebores, I've tidied them up so they're not looking full now, but still got a flower bud. £3.50 each instead of, yeah, £6.99 normally. Down to £3.50. Hellebores are another one. They're amazing over winter and in spring when not a lot else is happening, so you're still having some interest. You've got the leaves and then you also get the flowers. They're really good for pollinators as well. So I got 4 of those. Sedum, rose carpet, £7.69. It's been reduced a couple of times. It was originally £12.99, so that's not bad. And I've been looking at sedums. You have a few different options for how to divide them, multiply them. So you can either take off a leaf that's fully grown, you can pull a whole stem off of the plant and lay that down, and it will sprout roots all along it to make a new plant, or you can just dig up the whole thing, cut it in half and physically divide it. So this has absolutely tons of new growth in there. Look how stunning they are. So pretty. Chocolate cherry. All that new growth was at the bottom of the dead stems. So I'll let them get a bit bigger and practice what I've learnt about sedum propagating. I thought those flowers were lovely. Right, let's go and find some more jobs to do. I'm ready to sow the cobaea seeds now, so this is what they look like. I've got 4 of them that have been soaking for a couple of hours. I don't know why I've done a full tray because I'm only doing 4. A bit slimy. So like with a bean or courgette seed, you stand them up in the soil so that any excess moisture can drip off. If they lay flat like that, the water can sit on top of them and rot them. Oh, surface sow them, so that's going to stick out. Let's just have it sticking out. Let's do, oh, they're so slimy. Ugh. So I'm sticking them in the soil on their edge, and hopefully they'll know what to do. I'm only doing 4 of them because apparently they get really big, and I might as well water them with this outside, and that'll come into the house, and I'll keep you updated on those. So this week I have sown some more of my January seeds, so I'm not bogged down in February and March. I have been to the garden centre raiding their sale perennials and built the new coldframe. I have received a crab apple and so many bulbs, and we will find places to put things in subsequent videos. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it and it wasn't too boring. I hope it's motivating you. It is so good for you, for your body and your mind, to just get out in the fresh air, even if the weather's rubbish. Just get moving and do something, and I'll see you again in my next one. Bye everyone.